My name's Amber Maycutt, and I have Brooklyn Taxidermy as my art studio here in Sugarloaf. I moved here in October last year, and what I do is a little unconventional. I do taxidermy. So I do traditional taxidermy. I was trained professionally in traditional ways at some different taxidermy shops and also at the American Museum of Natural History in Manhattan. But I also am probably most kind of known for doing novelty taxidermy. So it's going to be stuff like jackalopes, small cute stuff like squirrels and mice, maybe holding little props or dressed in little outfits, and butterfly pinning. And I teach workshops and teaching other people how to do it. And I have an online shop. But yeah, it's been a good year moving here to Sugarloaf. We're on the front cover of the Wall Street Journal. We were interviewed on NPR this year. So it's nice to be here, and this is a great space for us. So we do a lot of work with butterflies, framing them, putting them in domes. So what we do, we have to pin and mount the butterflies. They're all from breeders. None of them are wild. So what we do is actually butterflies need to be rehydrated to get pinned and mounted. So it's kind of like drying out flowers. So we use these pinning boards here. So these are all butterflies that have already been prepared. So that means we already pinned them. So they're pinned into foam in these drawers. And then what we can do is, we can put them into frames and make stuff like this. And then for taxidermy, so taxidermy is actually the movement of skin, right? So taxi, like to taxi across town, movement, and dermy, like dermatology, skin. So what I do is I taxi the dermy. I move the skin. So basically, we use just the skin in taxidermy along with a mannequin or form that's made out of urethane foam. And we put in glass eyes, and then we kind of take the fur and we put it over this mannequin and sculpt it with clay and modeling tools, and tuck in the lips and put glass eyes in, and put ear liners into the ears to make them stand up, get them on a plaque, and let them dry into place for a week or two. It will harden into a static pose like taxidermy, right? The process of making these mannequins, the small animals, they don't have domestic pets and small animals that you wouldn't hunt in the traditional taxidermy supply catalog. So we are on our own to make our own little mannequins to properly make them anatomically correct. So what we do is called a carcass casting, right? Where we would take a frozen critter, frozen into the shape that in standing pose or on all fours pose that we want it to finally be in its final pose. And then what we would do is we basically pour silicone. We make a copy of it, right? We pour silicone, and then we have a mold here. So what we do is we open this up. So now we have, this would be a little rat for our rat taxidermy class. Okay, so this is a Dremel or rotary tool, right? Dremel is kind of like Scotch tape. It's just like the brand name. So what we would do here, this is an example, right? We're going to carve out this lip liner here. And carve it all the way around. And then we would take a tucking tool and tuck the lips into here tightly so that it's a nice closed lip on a finished mount. So this is another example of our traditional taxidermy mount. This is a raccoon. And then this is a raccoon mannequin that's in the pose. So basically this is what's underneath, along with glass eyes and a wire for the tail. So we have a flexi tail here. And then it's hardened into a static pose to hang on the wall for this one. And then above it, we have a ram here, kind of very non-conventional horns, art. And then we have here, this is a work in progress here. This is a ram. This is actually for the guitarist of Tool, the band Tool, Adam Jones. So we're going to put 4 horns on it and make it kind of very evil looking. But same thing, what's under here, right? This is a mannequin or form for a ram like this. So same thing, what we would do is we would whittle or carve this down, right, using a Dremel and different tools to make it custom fit to the skin of the animal. So it's kind of reverse tailoring, right? And then what we do too, right, these are ear liners that we use. So we would put these inside the ears to make them stay up into place so they don't shrivel, so that they harden correctly. Then you can get different millimeter size eyes, right, for the exact specimen that it is and the exact size that it is. So use calipers to measure the eyes, order them to the exact animal. This is like some of our best sellers is the anthropomorphic taxidermy. So it's giving human or lifelike characteristics, characteristics or activities to the taxidermy. This is like another bestseller of ours. We make these little taxidermy mice, and a lot of them, you know, we make them holding little props. What makes our taxidermy studio special, if you ask me, is that I am professionally trained, so I can do all the traditional taxidermy in the way that is really supposed to do. So it's lasting, perfect specimens. But also, right, you have to learn to, it's like Picasso. You can finger paint, but you can do real painting. So you can't break the rules unless you understand what rules you're breaking, right? But you still have to do it properly so that it lasts and that it's a good quality work. Also, what I like about taxidermy, and I bring to the taxidermy, I think, is I like the duality of it all, right? It's light, but it's dark. It's cute, but it's morbid. It's science, but it's art. It's real, but it's fake. There's so much there that is so different, and this is what is provocative, right? It makes you think about everything. So it's what's interesting. The name of my company is Brooklyn Taxidermy, and we sell items to a lot of celebrities like Drew Barrymore, Courtney Love, members of Slayer, Tool, big bands, and also films, Broadway shows, Saturday Night Live. So I don't know, go to the website, the list goes on, and you can also order all of our stuff on our website. We also have an Etsy page. I have my hands a little bit everywhere around here.